So now we have all the setup we need. All the pieces are ready to use. We've got this cross mounting setup. We have the base, we have the two end caps, we have the connecting cap to the Noga, and we have the connecting unit to the camera. So that's really nice and dandy, and well, we can start to use it right away. But forgot the two screws. But I did cut it with a hacksaw, but it does look ugly, doesn't it? Let's do something about that. You can't have ugly stuff. While we're making something, let's make something of quality, not just workability. Now that's acceptable. I'm pretty pleased with that. Okay, allow me to correct myself. I'm very pleased with that. Now you gotta be saying, okay, you got these ugly corners here, right? And I'm gonna be saying, yeah, you're right. This ugly cut too, which I was pretty sure it's straight. Well, that's life. We'll get that. Okay, so before we finish this thing, wanted to do this. Alright, let's get all that polishing compound off my table. And what do we do about this one? We're going to draw file this. I will actually want to hold this somehow. Okay, you know what? On a personal note, I really love when things come together. If you know where that term came from. But seriously, somebody made this. I didn't drill the holes. And somebody in China made this. And these two people had no idea that one made the other or any connection whatsoever. And there we go, we have perfect matching holes, exactly the right distance. They sit spot on in the middle, and they can hold this small vise. Right, so now we have a hefty base, fairly heavy, and now we can draw file. So we rounded off these corners, which is really nice, and it's about time to do the rest. Right, so we have everything here we need, and let's compile it together. Got a little bit of marring here. I may have to clean these parts later on the lathe. That's the beauty of it, because you don't have to glue anything here. You just bind everything here properly. Let's get our screws. Torque screwdriver. We'll start with the base. I'm going to hand drill a small 2mm pilot hole over there. Let's get to that. So there goes our XY setup. So we can set any height we like. And we can set any depth we like. And that's going to be considerably longer than the Joby stand tripod that I'm using right now. Right. So this needs to go over here, and the beauty of it, we can flip it if we need to. I've already tested it, as you know. It works really, really well. I'm really pleased with it. It's really jammed in there when I want it to. Let's mount this thing. Last but not least, so you might be asking, why didn't you fix this in advance to a big slab of, well, whatever, steel or something? And the reason is that if I'm taking videos off the mill, I need to hold this in the chuck. So if I fixate it to a big slab of whatever, it's going to be permanent. So I don't want that. We've got a stubby screw here. This is not a countersink screw. This is a screw I just took to use the head and some of the threading, and I'm going to use this as our countersink screw. Reason, I don't have a long enough countersink screw. So let's give it a go. I think I'll have to get it shorter. Now that's one side. And yeah, I've marked the depth. So we need to get about 5 millimeters shorter. And won't bore you with that. And there it is. It's shorter now. So let's test this. Yeah, that should be good enough. And there we have it. We have a lockable system. I can choose to lock. Actually, now that I realize it, it's should be the top side here. Right, so I'm holding this by hand, and now you can see the old setup and the new setup, and this is really cool. Really like it. It's multifunctional. I can take it off, take it on, replace the wood. I can always replace it with some steel shafts, so I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so you're watching my desk, basically speaking, from the new mount, and I have 2 points to make. One, oiling the shaft wasn't that brilliant. Apparently the bamboo didn't absorb any of that, something new to me. So that's easily solved. The other thing is that if I stick out the camera too much, then what I get is, well, basically the whole setup falling. So in due time, I'm going to have to make a balanced weight. Take a stock of whatever and just make a 10mm diameter hole and allow it to run freely. So it's going to count in order to counterbalance the weight of the camera and the setup, the Noga. That's part A. This is a working setup. I'm really pleased with it. This is going to be stored somewhere. I'm going to use it eventually from time to time. And we're going to have a continuation of this setup and enjoy it and make it better, improve it, and so on. So there we go. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and have a sweet day. Bye bye.